That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back, campers, to episode 40 of Camp Strange.
That's a milestone.
I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, the scary, the creepy, the everything else.
For the fucking 40th time.
40th time. Never missed a Friday.
Holy shit.
Except for all the Fridays before the episode.
Those didn't matter.
We missed all those ones.
Did they really even exist?
Nah. Didn't. So, let's get into these weird news stories as we always do, because I have an Oregon man here.
Ooh.
And that's your home state.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is Brian Couture, I believe.
Okay.
Couture. And it's really sad, actually. A man...
I don't think it's that sad, is it?
Somebody broke into his house and stole $740 worth of his of money that was raised from selling Girl Scout cookies for his daughter. So his daughter sold all these Girl Scout cookies, saved $740, and there was blood, and the house was ransacked. And when the cops came in, they were so distraught too, and they figured out, this looks like an inside job.
Yeah.
So they questioned
TV.
They questioned the man. Oh, better, he didn't spend money on a TV. They asked him what he did with the $740 because they knew he took it. Mm. He confessed that he spent the money on an erotic massage.
That must have been one hell of a massage.
Why would you like admit to that?
Do you know what city he was in?
It was just Oregon. I mean, I could probably find it, but it just
had
says
to.
Oregon man at the top. So he was 40 years old, and yeah, he filed a false report because he lied about the home invasion. I wonder whose blood it was. Maybe his, but it has to be like you. That's the thing. You don't leave blood around the house because they could just test the blood and be like, "This is the dad's blood."
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Oh yeah, I was there. He hit me." You know what I mean?
I'm a real bad shaver.
So he was put on probation, fined $100 in order to perform 80 hours of
erotic massages.
I was thinking of community service. So he also has to repay the $740 to his daughter. Literally, you cannot look at your daughter in the face again after that.
I just don't understand. Are they that expensive, or was it multiple massages? Like, really, $700 to get the old Robert Kraft treatment?
It better be the best massage ever.
Some good yoga
before the happy ending, and then the best happy ending.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. But it says Washington County District Attorney. Do you know Washington County? Is that like? Does that? It's in Oregon, though. It does say Oregon. So
maybe he went to Washington.
I got it right here.
Massage.
Forest Grove. Do you know? Did we mention that last time?
That sounds really familiar. I feel like that might be outside of Portland.
Yeah. So I don't know. He said he saw the robber run away, but indeed the robber was him. So poor guy. I mean, not poor guy. Poor guy.
Poor child.
Yeah. Poor girl. That sucks. I mean, now you have to your dad's on the news and you don't have your Girl Scout money? Do you think you just went back and was like, hey, I got to tell you, that $740, that wasn't mine. Can I have it back?
Okay, so it's it's outside of Hillsborough, which is outside of Portland.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your state, dude.
Yeah, I guess so. $700 hand jibbers, okay.
Yeah, $740, dude. $700 with the $40 tip.
Yeah, I was going to say the 40 was the tip. So...
It was the
$40 tip for the 40-year-old man.
So
tip. So I've got one here. Johnny Depp claims ex-wife Amber Heard defecated on his bed. Says that's when he resolved to divorce her.
That was the breaking point.
That was the breaking point. Not all the physical altercations that have been reported between the two, but it was her taking a shit on his bed.
Okay, you pooped the bed once, and now all of a sudden your spouse is filing for divorce. If that were the case, I'd be divorced already.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just eat too much. What makes you poop?
Yeah. One of the top comments is, don't kink shame, Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And someone else said this is a shit post.
That's good too.
Do you have a second one?
Well, I don't think that was a kink move. That seemed like a mean move. I mean, they both seem pretty bad for each other, right?
That was an angry shit, not a kinky shit.
She's shitting on the bed. He's buying islands and dinosaur skulls. Was he doing that, or was that Nick Cage?
Shit, sounds like it could have been either one of them.
Because I knew Johnny Depp was bankrupt because he was like spending
ungodly amount of money on weird shit.
On wine too. He was buying a shit ton of wine.
And now he got cut out from his biggest franchise. I don't know what he's gonna be making the moolah.
What?
From.
Pirates?
Yeah, he's done on Pirates.
I mean, I feel like they were gonna make more of them.
They're rebooting it without Jack Sparrow.
Oh well, that kind of makes sense because I mean he did like 6, right?
Yeah,
5 or 6.
But God, he made money off of it.
He was really good though, but he needs to cut the cord on that one. So,
yeah.
Well, watch out for check your bed tonight, kids. And this next story we got here, Florida man arrested for playing basketball naked. He told cops he had a good reason. Mm-hmm. You know what this reason is?
I think I saw this article, but please.
So on Sunday at 7:30 p.m., he was just like at this park balling it up, and he was completely naked.
Yeah,
completely. And it was a public park, and when the cops showed up, they asked him why he did not have his clothes on while playing, and he says that it enhances his skill level.
Yeah.
Aerodynamic.
No one's going to guard a fully naked man.
To tell you
the best offense is a good defense.
That's true. That's true. But to tell you the truth, this guy doesn't look like he had many skills. Honestly, he's 100% cross-eyed. Actually, yeah. I don't even want...
or he's just really focused on that hoop.
He's here. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's definitely not shooting.
That is the opposite of cross-eyed. He sees the entire court at once.
He's naked Shaquille O'Neal. That's who he is.
Okay.
So I mean, but he, he's just trying to ball it up at the park, and he got arrested and for indecent exposure of sexual organs.
Okay.
That's interesting. I didn't know. I thought it was just indecent exposure.
Yeah. What would indecent exposure be without sexual organs?
I don't know.
Look at this cut I got.
Boobs?
Look at this cut. You can see right to the bone.
Are boobs sexual organs?
I don't know.
They're kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to get into this.
I don't know, man. That's a hard question. I'm not going to answer that one.
Stay to that one. Well, he will too because he's in jail with a $500 bond. So, hey, Florida, ball it up. Florida man, ball it up. Literally.
3 balls on that court.
3 balls. No, 2. He's missing 1.
Okay.
Gator got it.
Yeah. So my next one. Is real, and I cannot stress that enough. This is a real.
They're all real.
No. This is a real pastor holds holds church in VR, virtual reality.
Ooh.
Baptize anime girl.
Wait, what?
He baptized an anime girl.
Wait. Okay, wait.
Yep.
Wait.
I don't have to explain anymore.
Is this in...
No, that's it. No questions.
Japan?
This is all you need to know is a real pastor held church in VR and baptized an anime girl.
Japan? That's the only way this makes sense to me.
Well, that's the beauty of VR is this could have been anywhere.
But I feel like he actually held a congregation. So what I'm picturing...
Yeah, there's no location because
okay,
everybody in VR is all over the goddamn place. Could have been your neighbor. Could have been your own son.
Okay, true. Oh, okay. You know what I thought happened? I thought the pastor was wearing this headset on stage, and he was like going through the motions of baptizing, and then everybody was sitting out in the pews looking at a big screen to see what he was seeing through the goggles, and he was like baptizing an anime girl.
Yeah, no.
But he's a real pastor.
Yeah.
Hey, can't you become a pastor online, or is that just like a minister?
I don't think it's a pastor, but it's you can get that old marriage certificate pretty easily.
And you know what? All anime girls go to heaven.
I don't know why she's getting baptized anyways. Doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Straight to heaven with her.
So that's pretty cool, man. That's our technology is pretty cool, guys.
Yep.
So this is what we have to look forward to. The future is now.
The future is right now.
And you know what else is right now? More stories. And you know what? Your Amber Heard story kind of inspired me.
Oh, okay.
Because
my shits on beds?
My theme is a little bit different than...
Is it a poop thing?
Most things.
You doing a poop thing?
Let's get into these stories.
Oh, fuck, you're doing a poop episode.
Since the dawn of time, there has always been the age-old questions. Where do we come from? Where do we go? Where do we come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
I hate you.
But the most asked question, in my opinion, has come down to, does everybody poop? And today, my campers, I have the answer for you as we delve into some historical tales of poo-poo and how it could kill your enemies, get you promoted, and even have you arrested. So, first we will talk poo warfare.
I would say getting arrested is the least of the surprising of those three.
That is true. I was trying to be very vague with it, but the way you get arrested with the poop, it's not just indecent. Maybe that's indecent exposure. Pooping? Because butt is not technically... I guess it could be a sexual organ.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore, man. So, like I said, let's get into some poop warfare because it was used.
And let's be honest, we've been dying to talk about it.
All is fair in love and war. And poop is usually involved in both.
Especially in love.
So don't kink shame.
Yeah.
So the earliest example of poop warfare is the Scythians, I believe they're pronounced. I don't really know. It's hard to...
They like skin?
They... Scythians, Scythians. But they're a central... I don't know if they like
The shit's
skin.
my skin deep.
So they're a Central Eurasian nomadic people who were around southern Siberia up until the 4th century A.D., and one of their specialties during warfare was the use of poison arrows, which were tainted with a mixture of viper venom. Okay, we keep coming back to snakes on this podcast.
We should get a snake to sit on our table.
I'm not getting a snake.
Why not?
Well, one, I just feel bad about feeding it to live animals and stuff like that. But I mean,
That's just the circle of life,
they're also
dog.
not very cuddly. And I know some people out there have snakes probably, and they're like,
snakes
I love
are cool.
snakes. So yeah, I like snakes.
The type you keep as pets are usually pretty fucking cute.
I guess. Fine, get a snake, dude.
All right.
So
You said it. I have it on. I have it recorded.
So these arrows, they're covered in a mixture of viper venom, viper corpses, human blood, and of course, human caca. The arrows, if they wounded a person, would cause gangrene and tetanus, as well as other infections from the vipers. Even people who are not wounded by the poison projectiles suffer from their terrible odor, noted Strabo, the Greek geographer. So even if you shoot a shitty arrow into a castle and you miss,
Yep.
at
Stink
least
bomb.
gotta smell that stinky arrow.
Yep.
So imagine getting hit with an arrow.
So are they just dipped in their ass?
They don't dip. They have one guy lined up. It's like an assembly line.
Dip it.
And he's just spreading his butt cheeks, and then there's walking by and just poking arrows, and he's like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Too deep, man.
He's like, this one has blood on it.
Oh, I feel the viper venom.
He's like, wait, I thought we were supposed to cover these with viper venom. He's like, don't look inside. I don't know if this is okay.
I don't either. Continue.
So, a little later, during the Middle Ages, Genghis Khan, or Genghis Khan, I don't know how to pronounce that. A lot of people have...
Genghis. I've never once in my life heard anybody call him Genghis.
I've heard somebody call him Genghis
He's
before.
not Django Fett. What the fuck are you talking about?
Falls over real easy. He's Jenga.
Okay.
Jenga Khan.
Never once have I heard that.
Shaka Khan. So, during the Middle Ages, Genghis Khan, famed Mongol warlord, was always known for his ruthlessness during battle. As Dwight Schrute would explain it best while discussing who would win in a fight between Jason Bourne and James Bond, Genghis Khan could take them both down because he's not afraid to kill children.
He's not. And isn't there some crazy ass stat where it's like...
Oh, I'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then I won't say it.
And then the rest of the line is, like, they all pause, and he goes, he would eviscerate babies on poles. Then he gets interrupted. But little do most people know that Genghis Khan was also not afraid to use poo-poo to kill. So at the time, the bubonic plague had afflicted millions of people in China. So Genghis Khan saw the killing ability in this disease. Khan would use Mongol warriors of the Golden Horde who were sick with the plague, as well as already deceased plague victims, as weapons. Khan would launch both the feces of bubonic plague victims as well as the full bodies of the dead over the castle walls with catapults in an effort to infect those inside. Imagine how terrifying.
Well, imagine how shitty that job would be. It's like, well, fuck, I just load up 10 dead bodies of this plague. I might as well, I'm next.
Yeah,
I'm going to jump on this thing and launch myself.
Maybe they made the sick people,
Shit, man.
man the catapults.
You
but
would hope.
Imagine getting like hit. I mean, shit's one thing. Shit flying over a castle wall is one thing, but like just getting straight up hit by a full dead guy who's probably covered in shit too.
Yeah, that dead body weight's heavy.
Yeah, it's not. It's It's gonna be a bad time.
Yeah.
So as you would have guessed, it worked. The ones inside the castle walls who are fortunate enough to flee, though, hopped on boats to Sicily and the south of Europe, where it actually spread dramatically, the bubonic plague. And many historians believe that Genghis Khan was responsible for the increased spread of the plague, which only adds more kills to his already staggering number of how many kills do they think? Like in battle, like
Oh, I have no idea.
40 million.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. And I know the stat you're about to ask me about, and the answer is he has 16 million descendants today.
That's wild.
So he was just like out there. I mean, I'm gonna have to say this probably wasn't consensual.
Fucking Johnny Appleseed.
Maybe some was, but he had a lot of sex with a lot of people, and there are 16 million people with his DNA in the world today.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. So,
isn't it like if you're anywhere near his region, you're basically related to him at this point?
I mean, 16 million. I don't know how many people are in Mongolia, but I would have to say probably close to 40-50% maybe of Mongolians, and then maybe some of like the other places he pillaged, and like I don't know.
I'm just saying, like people, travel and then they have kids. Like that shit spreads.
True. Yeah, exactly. But like I wonder. I don't know the exact the trail of like his Mongol
trail of seed.
That's a different movie. In 12th century China, a slightly more advanced version of poop catapult was used. The weapon, an excrement trebuchet bomb, was a type of explosive device made from hemp string and filled with gunpowder, human feces, and poison, which was lit with a hot poker before being flung at the enemy. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, not only is it a bomb that's going to explode when it, like, hits, but it's also full of poison and shit.
I feel like I'd rather get hit directly with that thing and just kill me quickly than get sprayed with a bunch of shit and poison.
Yeah, that's... I wonder what poison they had in there. Because if it's, like, viper venom, it has to get into a cut, I think.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't really do it, unless you just, like, got some shrapnel in there, too. But I don't know. Next, we jump further ahead to the Vietnam War, but more specifically... the punji stick. Do you know what a punji stick is? I knew what they were, but I didn't know what they were called.
I don't think I'm aware.
So now if you don't know about punji sticks, they are sharpened wooden or bamboo spikes used in a booby trap where a hole is dug, covered with debris, and filled with them so whoever fell in would suffer severe damage.
All right, yeah, I Googled it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like the very... I feel like that's one of the main...
I always thought of it just like a spike pit.
Yeah, spike pit, but I guess they're called punji sticks.
Okay.
And actually, fun fact, punji sticks were actually banned in the 1980s under the United Nations Conventions on certain conventional weapons, which also included convention covers landmines, booby traps, incendiary weapons, blinding laser weapons... that reminds me of your laser pointer you have. And
I don't know what you're referring to.
And clearance of explosive remnants of war. So, like, leftover landmines and stuff like that. They're like, you have to clean up. You can't just, like, hide a bunch of landmines.
That'd be such a shitty job to have to, like, keep track of where all those were.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole idea was, like, if your landmine kills somebody, like, your government is going to pay heavily because it's negligent warfare. So, although the punji sticks would not always kill the victims with the sticks alone, most of the time just either causing loss of time trying to get the soldiers out or a possible damaged leg. So they wouldn't kill most of the people. They would
I was gonna say the first person that fell through one of those must have been fucking terrified.
I think most of the time they would like puncture your feet or your legs, or sometimes you would land like in between them, and then if you tried to move your legs you would get stabbed with them. So it'd be like hey, we have to try to pull these out, and then we have to try to get you up out of there. So it just like cause more of a nuisance and stuff like that. But as a modification they made to the sticks that caused the damage, they would coat the sticks in poison from plants, animal venom, and you guessed it, human feces, just like the arrows used by the Scythians. So that was like a common thing where projectiles and that kind of stuff, they just cover in like the grossest, most bacteria-filled like
Yeah, why
filth.
not?
Yeah, but I mean, I never really hear of anybody covering like their sword in that. Maybe because that gets
Probably fall off easy. I don't know.
because you're gonna swing.
Yeah,
you're
carry it
swinging
around.
that around. Nothing really ruins your concentration in battle like getting hit in the face with your own shit on your sword.
Yeah.
So that's a bad move.
That's not my own shit. What do you think? I am a monster?
So, that was that guy's shit, the arrow guy.
Yeah.
And so, oh, he got a sword in him too.
Yeah.
Oof. So Alexander Georgievich Semenov. Oh, he's Russian for sure. A Russian inventor with approximately 200 patents to his name filed a patent in 2009 where we jumped ahead to that was titled Method of Biowaste Removal from Isolated Dwelling Compartment. So basically, this guy, what I write here, which is non-patent titled terms in a device that would allow tanks to fire that mean green, bad brown, stinky stuff.
Ooh.
So the idea is that when a soldier in a tank needs to shit, they would do it into a special type of shell casing that contains enough room for their poo as well as an explosive charge. And then they would place the shell into the tank's gun and fire it at the enemy, coating them in said poo. Which is weird because I feel like if you hit a tank with a shell and it's just poo, you're going to be kind of bummed out that you even hit the tank in the first place. You're like, fuck, we could have put like a real shell in there.
Yeah.
Because I just fired the poop out of like...
There's a bullseye, but it was just shit.
Yeah, and then... But the guy argued, who filed the patent in 2009, he goes, this is handy for two reasons. Firstly, it would get rid of human waste from the tank, which is an enclosed space that soldiers are often forced to be in for long periods of time. And secondly, it would coat the enemy in their surrounding environments in poop, something the inventor described as additional military, psychological, and military political effects. So he's just basically saying it's like a mind game too. So
yeah, you don't want to climb out of that tank.
But you know what's
shit.
better than mind games is hitting them with a real shell that has actual, gunpowder in it.
Yeah, maybe.
Not poo-poo.
Yep.
So next, let's talk poo promotion or poo motion, I guess you could call it. So Henry VIII had servants called grooms of the stool, whose literal job was to wipe his butt after he'd gone to the bathroom. 4 unlucky saps had the position during his reign, but on the bright side, they were all knighted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
The shit knights.
It's kind of embarrassing to tell people why you got knighted.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're like a good soldier.
Yeah, what honorary battle did you win?
Yeah, exactly.
Wiping that son of a bitch's ass for 3 years.
See that fat guy? See the fat guy who only eats beef? Yeah, him.
He picked me because I had very small, slender fingers.
I need you to wipe with care and alarm. So, in fact, the intense intimacy of this position saw several grooms of the stool gain great political influence, actually, as only the most trusted advisors would be given such a delicate task. So a lot of these guys would actually become very high, like, political players.
Yeah.
So when they say, like, you have to, like, you have to trudge through the shit to get to the top, like, sometimes they're...
Literally.
Yeah. So that wraps up that story. And then we just have 2 little short ones.
Okay.
And then a little bit of a long one that I really enjoyed.
God.
So next up, let's talk poo survival, because we're talking all aspects of poo right now.
Okay.
Poo has many aspects, poo's not a one.
Hey, no poo is the same.
Exactly. You get it. You
Yeah.
know, everyone tries to box poo in. So
Nobody puts poo in the corner.
except for Amber Heard. She puts it right on the sheets, baby.
I wonder where she did it.
I don't know.
In between the pillows?
Oh, in the pillowcase would have been a good one.
Yeah.
So,
Sneak attack. That's warfare.
if there was a viper in the other pillowcase. So being trapped under an avalanche is pretty much death. But in 1929, Arctic explorer Peter Frinchin missed the memo. Peter was finishing a 620-mile trek across the icy Greenland Arctic in an exploration project that when all of a sudden, Peter and his crew were caught in a blizzard. Peter decided to take shelter under a dog sled while the blizzard passed, but after a while he found himself completely buried in the snow that quickly turned to ice. At the time, Peter was not carrying his proper tools to deal with a buried alive in ice situation, so he had to improvise. Do you know where this is going, David?
I don't. I'm going to plead the fifth.
So Peter decided he had to dig himself out, but he had no knife. So he pulled down his pants.
He made a knife out of shit.
So he pulled down his pants and pushed a hefty ho-ho out of his bum and let it freeze, forming a gross but effective poop knife.
Fuck, man.
So Peter was able to dig himself out and lived a very long life with probably many awkward moments every time he would tell that story.
That was the only thing he could think of. He had nothing else on his body, on his person that he could do that with.
I mean,
I would have rather cut my arm off and let that freeze.
Why? Little poo-poo? Okay, he's probably he probably had a very good diet of seal meat and...
What if he was nervous and it made his bowels go to diarrhea?
He
He just had a sheet.
But then he's trapped, buried alive with a bunch of diarrhea next to him.
Just a puddle.
That might have melted some snow, though.
Yeah, sure.
Do you
Why
think
not?
you made like a snowball out of it? Anyway, but yeah, so that happened in history. So also, this is a little side story since we're talking poo crimes too. A 65-year-old former nurse, Rosemary Vogel of Chandler, Arizona, was charged with first-degree attempted murder after an incident in which she injected fecal matter into her husband's IV while recovering from heart surgery. Yeah. So one of the nurses apparently walked in and found her fiddling with the bag and noticed a brown substance in it. And after testing it, they found out it was poop. She was quickly arrested.
Man, what does their shit look like where they're not automatic? Like, yeah, it's shit.
Maybe it was like a little bit of poop. Because I bet a little bit of poop in your bloodstream goes a long way.
I don't know, man. I think when I see shit, I know that's shit.
Well, I think they had to test it. Be like, what would you inject her there? She's like, I made beef stew. And like,
It's a Whopper.
That's not beef stew. That's not beef stew.
It's a melted Whopper.
Yeah, you see the corn in there? That's beef stew. So it was beef stew. So when Rosemary appeared in court, her husband came along to defend her. So he's actually like, hey.
I wanted that shit in me, goddammit.
I told her to do it. He said there was some psychological break that morning, he testified. It was totally out of character. Rosemary, who claimed she didn't remember the incident, pled guilty, though. So the judge saying, this is the funniest part, the judge saying he believed Rosemary had suffered a mental break that day, took sympathy on her, and sentenced her to probably the weirdest sentence I've ever heard, ever in the court of law.
Okay.
Yeah. He sentenced her to weekends in jail for 1 year.
That's weird.
That, honestly, I can't think of a worse sentence.
That's just weird.
You're working during the week, and then you're like, I can't wait to get... fuck, I gotta go to jail.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I feel like I would just be like, oh, cool, I get to sleep for 2 days.
I guess you're right. I mean, read a book or something, but it's just so weird.
I feel like going through that process of getting checked into the jail every weekend would be like the biggest pain in the
I
ass.
feel like that town probably didn't have much going on. So
What year was that?
This was recent. I don't have the year right here, but
Somewhat recent.
yeah,
Okay.
it was pretty recent.
I bet everybody loved her though. She'd come in, like, bring in some news, keep people
Like,
updated.
hey, don't give her a syringe. She's gonna inject you with poo.
Yeah, what happened on the Kardashians this week?
Oh, you mean the other prisoners?
Yeah, she's the intel.
Oh, she can sneak in whatever she wants. You know.
You don't think they're gonna check her prison stash?
It's beef. Are you sneaking in beef stew? So here's my last story that I wanted to tell that I thought was very interesting, but it kind of deals with people that most of us do not like. So during
Is it the Nazis?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't care for them.
So during World War II, when the Nazi army invaded North Africa in 1941, most of the Nazi soldiers found themselves sick with stomach cramps and profuse sweating. They were suffering from a severe outbreak of dysentery. That's the bad one that always gets you an Oregon Trail. You
Yep.
know about Oregon
I
Trail.
know all about it. I grew up with dysentery.
Yes.
I need a T-shirt that says "I grew up with dysentery."
You're just like so malnourished.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
got the little shape, the
on
outline
the
of the state
back
of
it
Oregon.
says on the back it says I still have it. The Nazis were beside themselves as hundreds of soldiers died around them. Not only, oops, I'm sorry. Fuck.
Oops, you made a poops.
I made a poops. So, like I said, the Nazis were beside themselves as hundreds of soldiers died around them, not knowing how to cure the disease. Various types of scientists and physicians arrived, set to work on trying to figure out how to cure the suffering soldiers. There were no antibiotics that would cure it, so they had to find another way. Observing that the locals weren't dropping like flies, they paid close attention to their behaviors when they became ill with dysentery. So they started following the locals around who were probably drinking from similar water sources and getting the same disease. Mm-hmm. To their surprise, though, the sick locals were following around the camels that passed through town. And when the camels would drop a pile on the floor, they would pick up the pieces and pop them in their mouths like a donut hole. I'm not fucking kidding.
Like urgently, like secretively, or was this just like casual, like, oh, my treat?
I think it was like...
This is my treat. This is my Sunday treat.
I think it was like, hey, there's a camel. Just keep an eye on it. Don't make it really notice that. Like, don't make it seem like we're desperate for shit, but like make it seem like we're like slightly interested. Like,
Plus, I'm hungry for shit.
Play hard to get. You know what I mean? So, what'd you say?
That's from that little card. Plus, I'm hungry for shit.
Okay.
Little, you know what I'm talking about.
So, I don't know. No, not really.
The little cartoon?
Nope. But let's stop there. So, there was no question that it was effective. Every time it resulted in restored health by the next day. So, the shit was working, literally.
Okay.
The scientists questioned the Arabs and found that they didn't understand what it was that worked to cure the dysentery, and that camels were not fed any special herb or plant that the Germans could use instead without the fecal accompaniment. The Arabs responded that they were only doing what they had been taught for generations, and that the one rule was that it had to be warm and fresh or it would not work.
Yo, you want me to eat leftover camel shit?
Well,
I need that shit fresh.
The thing is, I feel like I could pop a dried camel shit in my mouth, but the warmth is like, that's the part that's going to get me.
Yeah, it just slides right down the gullet that way, though. You got to chew it up if it's cold.
True. You got to add like water to the dried ones.
You can work
right?
it. You can work it around if it's fresh, and it just goes right down.
It's like a truffle.
It's like a spear shape.
Like a truffle. I don't know if it's spear. I don't know if camels poop in balls or if they
No.
poop in...
What I'm saying though is
What?
if it's fresh, you can mold it to whatever shape. You want a gingerbread cookie? Get that cutter out.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah, I like this, huh?
I'm hungry for shit. So, what the scientists discovered after testing was Bacillus subtilis. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's a bacteria organism with super strength that eats any other bacteria or virus that gets in its way, particularly any of the pathogenic variety. So immediately they grew cultures of the camel poo bacteria and made a broth from it in large vats from which they dosed the dying troops.
A good mud broth. A good mud broth.
It was definitely. I wonder what it tasted like. Do you think they're allowed to like add salt or anything? They're like, no, you'll ruin it. Like it won't work. So they just had to straight up eat like a poo soup. Soup.
I mean, that's why all U.S. soldiers travel with Tabasco in their packs.
Yeah, to make the poo soup taste better.
Well, not necessarily just the poo soup, but
I put
anything they have to eat.
Literally,
that's a fact, though. You know that, right?
What?
That I don't know if they still do it, but it was once a thing that every military outfit was standard for them to have Tabasco in case they had to eat something that was like really gnarly for survival. They would just douse it in Tabasco to kill the flavor.
My buddy, he was a Marine, and we opened up his MRE, one of them, and there's tiny little bottles of Tabasco in there. They're like this big. I mean, you can't see my hands, guys, but they're very small. They're like an inch or two tall. It's pretty crazy, but they're glass, aren't they? They look like a regular Tabasco bottle, but shrunken.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. But luckily for the Nazis, god damn it, They later fashioned it into dry pills to avoid the poopy soup taste, which unfortunately cured the Nazis of the deadly disease. God damn it. But if Nazis surviving pisses you off just as much as it does me, then I have one more thing to add to this story. Although the disease was cured, didn't mean that the Nazis' stupidity was. So the Nazis' tank drivers thought it was good luck to drive over piles of camel dung. So the Allies started to make fake camel dung piles and connect them to explosives that would detonate when run over by any luck-seeking tank driver. So the plan worked so well that the Nazis lost many tanks and had to switch their superstitions up a bit. They would now only drive over dung piles if they had tank track marks already imprinted on them. That was until the Allies started placing bombs in dung piles and then faking track marks over the top.
God.
And the Nazis lost many more tanks that year because of it too.
I've never heard of any of that.
So it's pretty crazy because it was. They don't really talk about the Nazis being in like northern Africa, like Egypt, Yemen, that kind of. I don't know exactly where they were for this, but yeah, there's definitely camels there that you don't see a lot. Like most people focus on like the French and like the British sides and the German like areas, and then also like the Pacific for like the World War II, like Japan and stuff. But Northern Africa was more of just like, I feel like more colonies and like bases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also just colonization of like the world probably, because they're a bunch of assholes.
Yep.
Assholes full of shit, literally drinking shit soup.
Finger popping each other's assholes.
You said it. So yeah. So if you guys are ever sick, just pop a poop in your mouth.
Yeah, just pop a little.
Oh wait,
nugget.
we're getting sued? Oh, okay.
Oh. Just a reminder, we are not doctors.
Honestly, if I go to court for telling someone to eat poop, and it's only good press, right?
All bad press is good press.
True. All poop press is good press.
Yep.
So that's the end of my story. That was my poop chronicles. So we had dying Nazis, we had infected arrows and punjis, we had grooms of the stool, and and shooting shit out of a cannon.
I really wish.
And also
you
a poop knife.
I feel like you should have told me about this, and then I could have, for once, known what you were doing your story about. And because it's not like I'm going to go Google poop stories.
That's true.
I could have done a whole piss boy episode. I could have been just the biggest piss boy you've ever seen.
Hey, we'll save that for another day. We got to keep you guys coming back for something, right? Stay tuned for a piss episode.
Yeah, next week, piss boy. Piss boy Dave coming in hot.
Well, I didn't mean to do a poop episode. I literally found a website that had an interesting story about the poop knife.
I don't even know what type of websites you go to when you find these fucking things.
Poopknife.com.
Jesus Christ.
But I found the poop knife story, and it was really short. And then I found the Nazis running over the camel dung and getting their shit blown up. Yeah. And I was like, those are both really interesting, and they're poop stories. So then I just
connect the dots.
That's when the Google poop searches started.
Yep.
So
all right. So my turn.
It is your turn.
All right. So okay, hold on. Before I get into my story, I want to play a little game called Name That Sound.
Oh, you got a soundboard for me?
You ready for this?
Can I say something really quick? Yeah. I really wanted you to do a soundboard, but I didn't have access to it. I really wanted the Billy Madison quote where he goes, "It's poop again. He called this shit poop."
Yep.
Classic. I really wanted it, but
yeah. So we're gonna play a little game. I have the control over the soundboards because I do the editing and the recording. So
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
So yeah, let's play a game, huh? What sound is this?
Is that a bird? I thought it was a hog. First I thought it was a goat, and then I thought it was a hog, and then it went to a high-pitched little chirp, so I'm thinking of maybe...
Do you need to hear it again?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And I'm coming.
Oh, fuck, that was the wrong one.
It's Alex Jones. It's Alex Jones. That whole stretch was Alex Jones taking
yeah.
his shit.
Close, very close.
I'm coming. Oh my god, was Alex Jones coming?
So welcome to my cum episode.
Oh my god, that was really good.
So what's your guess for what that sounds from?
That's a bird.
Nope.
Ape.
Almost.
Was that a howler monkey?
No.
Fuck, owl.
Why would I do a fucking story on a howler monkey or an owl?
No.
Come on, man.
I thought it was just like a part of a bigger story. Who is it? What is it? Who is it?
It's a goddamn Bigfoot.
Oh, you motherfucker.
It's a goddamn Bigfoot.
You stupid asshole.
No, that is a genuine Bigfoot audio file right there.
Wait, so the chirps at the end were just like a bird that was scared?
No, I think that's it. They make weird noises, man. Yep.
I still like think it's Alex Jones coming, but like continue, please.
To each his own.
Please continue.
So being from the Northwest, Bigfoot has always been a big part of the whole woodsy culture that I grew up in. And the place I actually grew up in, like where my family's house was an area where people had spotted and thought Bigfoot lived in Eugene, Oregon.
Did you guys have any sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like tchotchkes or anything? Like if you would go to like the gas station, would they be like Bigfoot spotted here, or was it just kind of like around town?
It was more around town.
Okay,
it wasn't like a
you
national
didn't capitalize off Bigfoot.
No, we didn't need to.
Well, you went to that town in Oregon one time where like they literally had a Bigfoot wood carving with a bulge on it.
That was in Idaho.
Oh, that was in Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that might have been in Washington. That was from a drive from Seattle to Moscow, Idaho. So I don't remember where that was.
That was like a town that capitalized on Bigfoot a little bit.
Yeah, I need to find that picture and put it up on. We can put it up for this
That's a good
story.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a large wooden sculpture that someone had carved, and this fucking thing had the biggest donger you've ever seen.
That hefty bulge.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm coming.
And I'm coming. So I guess first thing to cover, as always, is what exactly is a Bigfoot, which I would assume anybody's listening to this podcast is familiar with the idea of Bigfoot. But just in case we have some people, I don't know, from other countries where it's not a thing there, I figured we'd give a little description.
Could we call him by his good Christian name? His name is Sasquatch.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
I had it in there.
I feel like Bigfoot's derogatory, so get it right.
I mean, the dog's got a big foot.
Big feet.
Yeah. He's got one big foot.
Doesn't roll off the tongue as much. No. Big feet. Huge dong.
Big foot, big dong. So, yeah. Also known as Sasquatch is a North American folklore creature who is described to be hairy. Mm-hmm. Very hairy. Upright walking ape-like creature that dwells in the wilderness hidden away from society. The Bigfoot is a bipedal, meaning it walks on its back
Is it pedal
legs.
or pedal? Bipedal, same thing,
Bipedal?
right?
Bipedal?
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He walks up.
He does. And so, yeah, so that means he walks like us humans, unlike any dogs listening or any cats listening.
You sons of bitches.
Birds? You got a pet bird? Yeah, sure.
They don't have, they walk on. Yeah,
so we're talking about you too. And so people claim that they've seen these creatures between the heights of 6 foot to 9 feet tall.
I was about to ask how tall they were.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wow. Okay, so they're a 6 foot Bigfoot.
It's probably like a kid.
That sounds weird to say. 6 foot Bigfoot.
It's probably like a child Bigfoot.
Yeah. Imagine a
preteen foot.
A mama Bigfoot pushing out a fucking 6 foot baby. Shut the fuck up. They're small.
Okay. No, I said
That's
a
not a
preteen.
baby.
I said a preteen,
Okay,
not a
preteen.
baby.
You said baby.
No, motherfuckers are probably born 4 feet tall.
Yeah, still, wow.
Yeah.
But it just seems kind of weird. I wouldn't be that. I'd be like, hey, what's up, guy? He'd be like, oh, I'm just a 6 foot Bigfoot. You know, I'm not very threatening. I could fight that.
I'm just a little guy.
just.
I'm just a little guy. You have any salmon for me?
Come here, give me a hug.
You know, give me a big old bear hug. So yeah, they're covered in hair, which is either black, dark brown, or even dark red. So there are some ginger foots out there.
Ooh, that little Scottish foot.
Yeah. So one of its biggest legends is within its own name, Bigfoot. The sucker's got huge, obviously bare feet, which leave very large footprints in the ground. And the average size of a Bigfoot's foot...
29.
Bigfoot's foot?
29.
24 inches long.
Okay.
8 inches wide.
Oh, wow. Wide guy.
Wide guy.
What's Shaq's foot at?
Not. I don't think it's that big.
How big?
It's funny you say that because my next sentence was no Nikes will fit that. Maybe some Shaq brand shoes from Ross though.
Okay, you know what the crazy thing is? My brother, one of his teachers had Shaq's sneaker as like I don't know how he got it, but my brother said it was like in junior high. He was able to put his.
I think every fucking school had that.
Yeah, he was able to put his foot with his shoe on inside the shoe.
Yeah.
So guess how? Do you know how big his foot is? I have it right here.
A size like.
What was Bigfoot's?
24 inches.
23.
Damn.
So, I mean...
How tall is Shaq again? Like 7... No, he's like 6'11", 7...
7'7", 360 pounds.
He's 7... Wait, what?
Oh, wait, no, that's...
No! Are you fucking kidding me?
Wait. No, that's this kid. Wait, fuck. I just opened up an article. Shit, I didn't mean to. There's this kid. Oh, shit.
Is that Taco?
I don't know who that is. Kenny George.
No, it's not Taco.
Anyway, don't listen to me. I don't know. He's tall. He's tall.
He's a big boy.
I'll find out how tall Shaq is eventually. Keep talking.
But so, what is the Bigfoot? Why is it here? Why do we care? Many people believe that these creatures are the missing link between humans and apes, or maybe a form of evolution that went in a different direction, becoming more closer to the apes than they are human.
Oh, like a little like mutation, or like they just like happened to like we went and like
we went right, they went left.
Yeah, I'm about to say like we went to the road and we're like, hey, these roads are easier to walk on, and they just stayed in the woods, and they're just like, okay. But Shaq 7'1", by the way.
Okay.
Yao Ming 7'6".
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck.
Yeah. Big dude.
Big dude.
So many people believe. Oh fuck, that's the same sentence I just read.
Spit wine.
So many of the sightings have taken place in Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia of Canada. Those are like the hot spots.
Yeah, this is an American lore. I don't know any. I don't think he can swim.
Well, so there are like legends that are very similar. They're just not like called Bigfoot. I forget what they call them in England. I think they were like Wild Man or something like that.
Okay, it's kind of like similar to like the Spring-Heeled Jack. We have something over here called like
the Dillywhacker,
Jumpin' Jack Flash or something, you know.
So, due to his sightings and research, it is believed that the big feet. It said in the thing I was reading, they can be referred to as big feet or Bigfoots.
Oh, I was right. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Big feet sounds weird.
Yeah. So either way is correct. So that the big feet differ in their appearance based on their region.
Oh, that's multiple big feet. Bigfoot. Oh, it's the plural of Bigfoot.
It is Bigfoots or big feet. It doesn't matter.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So members of the Lumi, a western Washington state native tribe, tells tales of a pretty similar monster named this is a Native American, language, so...
You're going to butcher it.
Probably. I even typed it to try to make it easier for me.
Phonetically?
Yeah, Tess Emi Kawes.
Okay.
And that was their local Bigfoot. The stories were much more personal, and they had a strong connection with the beast that more than like what we have now. And it was more of a respect thing with the tribe.
They didn't try to capture it. And,
exactly.
Kill it.
It was a respect thing. Like when they saw one, it was kind of just like, let it be.
Yeah.
And but the same tribe also had a race of Bigfoot called the Kui-Kui-Ya. And this was a nocturnal race of Bigfoot who lurked around at night, and if someone said their name at night, they'd come and take people or just kill them.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You're like, you just say their name, and they're just coming out and
you don't
swinging.
Say that name? You don't
they're
say
just
that name?
swinging.
Did I tell you about the whole bear thing I read the other day?
If you say a bear's name?
Yeah.
What? No.
I can't remember if I said this on the podcast or not. No, apparently the
apparently?
name... So I read this thing the other day that said that bears, the original name for a bear wasn't bear, but back in the day they believed that if you said its name, it would come and like attack you. So they came up with a different name from its original name.
Okay, did you tell me this or did I read this somewhere?
You might have read this.
Sounds kind of familiar.
Because I can't remember if I told you this or not. But yeah, no. So apparently bear isn't its actual name. That like.
Yeah, they don't know its real name anymore.
Yeah, the time has forgotten its real name because they've just never
they
spoken of it.
Yeah, they were so scared of it that they just like, oh, let's call it the nickname so it doesn't come and fucking kill us.
Yeah, bear like translated into like the brown one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, it works. I like it.
So a little side note here. In 1847, Paul Kane...
Good year.
Do you know who Paul Kane was?
No.
So Paul Kane was an artist known for painting the Native American culture. Like I believe he was an Irish native who lived in
Canada.
He went to Canada, and
because they didn't. I mean, I don't know if they had photography back then, but like they believe that if you take a photograph of them, it takes part of their soul. So I think painting was the only way, right?
Well, yeah, but he was like accepted into tribes, and he would paint their stuff.
Oh, very cool.
And it was reported that he was told stories by the natives about the Squacoums, a race of cannibalistic Sasquatches who lived on the peak of Mount St. Helens in southern Washington.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's like
would not go up there.
Yeah, I mean, once you get up on the mountain, when does a Bigfoot become a Yeti? If he can survive in the cold?
I think it's all snow.
Need white fur.
I think it's all snow. I think once you're in the snow, you turn white, and then you're a Yeti.
Yeah, I think it's locational. You know, because like
I don't think Mount St. Helens is tall enough to be Yeti region.
Okay, see, I don't know much about
up there.
Yeah, I mean, they all died when it blew up anyway, right?
Yeah,
so they're all dead.
Hopefully,
but because Yeti's on the Matterhorn, which is. I only know the Disneyland ride. I don't know
That's in Germany. I think it's a German. The Matterhorn's a real like mountain in Germany.
I know that. But I'm talking about I've seen the Yeti on the Disneyland. You know the Matterhorn that's in Orange County?
In Anaheim? In Anaheim?
Hey, Germany, we got a better Matterhorn. We got an actual Yeti.
People like waiting for ours. Last time
you could throw up on ours.
Oh, I always get Matterhorn and Splash Mountain mixed up.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I was on Splash Mountain, it broke. And
it broke when I was on it, too. That fucking thing sucks.
And I got rear-ended by one of the fucking log canoes that came off of the huge drop and just nailed the back of, like, our thing. And I took all of the force of it.
You're like, mine broke, and I fell out of the log, and I hit the thorns at the bottom, and I...
Well, they had to get everybody out of the boats, and we had to walk through the back thing.
Same here.
And they're like, please do not take photos, and like...
Please do not kiss the animatronics.
Please don't kiss me, sir.
Sir, please stop.
I'm not a part of the experience. Do not kiss me.
I thought you could kiss anything on this ride. What the fuck?
I've been kissing everything at Disneyland. Now you're saying there's rules? So, like before, there have been lots of stories of harmless Bigfoots. And in 1840, Elkanah Walker, a missionary, recorded stories of giants among the Native Americans living near Spokane, Washington. The locals said that these giants lived on and around the peaks of nearby mountains and would steal fish from the fishermen's nets.
What? Huh? They couldn't even catch their own fish?
I mean, they got those big old sloppy fingers.
I mean, like, they just did it because they just like looked at the fish and like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like, you did have to work for me.
Like a 5-foot fisherman stand toe to toe with a 9-foot Bigfoot.
Exactly. I mean, you could get a 6-foot Bigfoot, then he gets a little brave, and
yeah, I probably
then he gets a hammer down on the top of the head.
Yep,
makes him dumb for life.
So for whatever reason, Bigfoot can make people go wild, and much like Nessie and the Loch Ness Monster. Nessie the Loch Ness Monster. The original footage of Sasquatch was deemed a hoax with many others. But this does not mean that the monster does not exist.
Can I ask you, did you say he makes people go mad as in like just like, oh, it's crazy, or like he has like a psychological effect, like he has a power?
No, I just mean like,
oh, he makes people go like Bigfoot crazy.
I'm just saying, typically people that are like super wrapped up in Bigfoot are 110%.
I thought he had like a mind control type thing, and I didn't know about it.
Maybe he can make himself disappear from footage or some shit.
It's like, I mastered the VCR.
Yeah. So Tom Biscardi is a longtime Bigfoot maniac, and he's the CEO of Searching for Bigfoot Incorporated.
I've never had CEO and then something that directly took away the title of CEO. Right after.
So
More CEOs like, whoa, CEO. Oh wait, what's a company?
yeah, I'm CEO for Searching for Bigfoot Incorporated. Here's my business card.
Oh, you're a janitor.
Here's my business card. So he joined a radio show called Coast to Coast AM Paranormal, and
I've heard of Coast to Coast. That's a big. I think
it's a big one.
Yeah.
And
I used to listen to that as I went to bed. My dad would play that.
Yeah, is that why you have the night terrors?
That's why I scream at night.
So on July 14th, 2005, he told everyone that he was 98% sure that his group would be able to capture a Bigfoot, which they had been tracking in the Happy Camp, California area.
Isn't it crazy how as long as you leave like 1%, he
One or
left
two?
two.
He left two.
So he was like being like, "Hey, you guys," that's how you know he's like, "I'm not coming back with anything. I'm not doing 90. I'm doing 98."
Well,
But what I was gonna say is it's crazy how as long as you leave that 1%, you could kind of just be like, "Well, I didn't guarantee anything. Like this happened to be the 1% chance." And you're like, "What the fuck?"
that logic checks out. But
The math checks out.
But a month later, he announced on the same radio show that he had access to a captured Bigfoot and was arranging a pay-per-view event for people to come in and see the Bigfoot.
Yes, only in America.
But, and that's a big but.
There's always a but. There's always. Remember Gowrow?
Yep.
Remember Gowrow?
Oh, yeah.
The guy captured it, killed it, and then he sent it in a crate to a museum. And what happened? They fucking lost the crate.
They lost the crate. So, yeah. But he went back on the same show a few days later to confirm that it was full of shit and blamed an unnamed woman for misleading him.
So the woman captured it.
Yep. Who knows?
Told him.
Who fucking knows?
I just need to crack this case.
So I'm going to add this other story because this Tom guy seems kind of like a dick. And on July 9th of 2008, Rick Dyer and Matthew Witten posted a YouTube video claiming that they had found the body of a dead Sasquatch in the forest of a northern Georgia woods.
Oh, he made his way to Georgia too. Okay.
Yeah, which I mean that's a red flag. We all know, Bigfoot's not.
He's a
Bigfoot
northeast
not
kind
in
of
Georgia.
guy.
What is he in crawdads in Georgia?
That's an ugly uncle right there. You got yourself a dead ugly uncle.
So Tom Biscardi heard about it and sent the two guys $50,000 from his company Searching for Bigfoot Incorporated as a good faith gesture with getting, in on that body action. This shit was all over the news, like BBC, CNN, ABC News, Fox.
Was he PayPal? Would he PayPal him or did he wire him some money?
I have no idea, but the world was talking about it.
Jesus.
And the two froze the body to preserve it. And when the
But
when the contents were thawed, the investigators immediately noticed that it was a fake Sasquatch with a hollow head and rubber feet.
How? I just don't get it. Like,
hold on. The two men quickly admitted it was a hoax after being confronted by Steve Coles. You know Steve Coles, right?
yeah, I love Steve Coles.
He's the executive director of
Coles
of SquatchDetective.com, a real website, not SasquatchDetective.com, but SquatchDetective.com.
Okay. I just wait before you say anything. I would just love to see the two guys' faces as they take this block of ice out, and there's a Sasquatch, and they're like, "Okay, eventually they're gonna get pretty pissed in about 20 fucking minutes."
You guys don't have to melt it, right? Just look at it.
Hey,
just look at it.
Put the hairdryer away. You don't need to
just look at it.
just don't touch it.
In August of 2012, a man in Montana was killed by a car while perpetrating a Bigfoot hoax because he was using a ghillie suit.
Oh, shit.
So not only is it silly to play with true believers of Bigfoot, but it could also be dangerous.
Wait, so a ghillie suit, for those of you who don't know, a ghillie suit is what snipers wear when they're like...
Yeah, military.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a...
camo.
Yeah, well, it's not even camo. It's like
A
you're
bush.
literally covered... Yeah, you look like a bush. Like, so you
Yeah.
could lay down in brush and you look like you're just a pile of brush.
Yeah.
But wait, he ran out in the middle of a road or he got run over?
I didn't get the whole thing. I wasn't sure if he was supposed to be the Sasquatch or if he was supposed to be filming the Sasquatch.
Somebody ran him over.
Someone
by
ran
accident.
him over, and it was because he was trying to fake a Sasquatch thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So in 2011, a television show by the notorious Ping Pong Productions aired on Animal Planet. The show would be called Finding Bigfoot.
I've heard of that one.
The show followed a few Bigfoot experts and hunters for, you want to guess how many seasons?
7?
9 seasons.
Oh my god.
There was 9 seasons of the show of people wandering the woods, but never quite having the good fortune of finding a Bigfoot.
Imagine, like, if the fucking show was the one that premiered, like, finding the Bigfoot. Like
the second episode in, they're like, oh fuck, we found a Bigfoot. Like, what do we do for the rest of the show?
no, I just mean, like, imagine if they found a Bigfoot and all the producers are like, don't show this to the news. We're going to premiere this on our show. Like, if there's a Bigfoot found, you're immediately going to find it on the news. Like, 110%.
Yeah.
So, like, my thing is, I don't watch those shows unless I see them on the news.
Yeah.
You know?
So this show ran until May 27th of 2018. So in other words, this upcoming Monday from the Friday that this episode comes out is the year anniversary of the last, not just the last, but the 100th episode of showing these people trying to find something they never did for 9 years.
So I'm very curious in watching that last episode, and like, do they come to a conclusion that like, do you think they're still like, because they can't just be like, I guess he doesn't exist. They'd have to be like, man, we're not lucky enough. I guess we got to keep searching. You know what I mean? Like,
if I feel like I saw a clip from it when they kind of just like gave up.
Because the thing that's interesting is that there's big feet, which is mean that there's multiple.
Oh yeah, no, it's supposed to be a civilization. It's not supposed to be one singular.
See, people
monster.
make it seem like it's one singular monster, but if it's big feet, you should be able to get your hands on at least one of them.
Yeah,
they walk everywhere. Come on.
Yeah. So my question for you is, what do you think would happen if we actually captured a Bigfoot?
Have you seen The End of Strange Wilderness?
When they just shot the shit out of it,
shoot it with a machine gun. He comes out. And he goes.
He's like friendly.
He goes. Huh? And they go, fucking kill it! And they like shoot it full of bullets. And they
it's
go,
a very underrated movie.
It's a very good. I have it on DVD. And he goes. You heard him. He growled at us. And he's like, I think he said, huh? But
honestly, Steve Zahn, like Jonah Hill,
Steve Zahn. What's his name?
Danny McBride wasn't in it, was he?
No.
Should have been.
From Tusk. What's his name? He's from Dodgeball. Jason. What's his name? Justin Long. And Farva from.
Oh fuck, he was in that.
He wasn't.
He?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
There's some good actors in there.
That was a great movie.
But I think if we actually found a...
Sorry, we just spoiled the great, amazing ending if you've never seen it. But holy
it's
shit,
the journey.
It's so funny.
It's the journey. Check out the movie Strange Wilderness. It's really good. And it's in our name, so check that out.
You go.
But I think if we actually found a Bigfoot, we would one...
Cut it open.
Either the government would get it before us, like they would try to like cover it up.
They probably already have all of them.
Honestly. Or we would... I think somebody would shoot it and kill it and then like try to mount it, trophy it, which would be like super fucked up. But I don't think that we could live peacefully with I mean, humans are kind of shitty. Like,
but then we'd be able to possibly confirm evolution, which would derail so much.
Would that be like evolution, or would that be like
well, a lot of people believe
a
that
different
it's
entity.
It's a step through evolution, if it confirmed that, like if it had human DNA, like a mix between the two.
It's almost like you gave up brain power for strength. You know what I mean? Like there were two paths, and one's like mind and one's like body.
Yeah.
And like the body like was the Bigfoot, and the mind was like the humans or something.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yep.
I don't know.
Do you think they exist?
I think it'd be a more interesting world if they did. I'm gonna keep it open because I haven't seen one, and I haven't not seen one. So like I'm gonna say yes, but maybe not in vast majority or quantity as many people think.
My thing is, I think they did,
Oh, that's fair.
I do not think they still do, but I think they used to exist.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Especially back in, I think it's very convenient.
The 1800s, where a lot of like the actual like stories come from.
You know what? I agree with you because I think it's very convenient that we all have cameras in our pockets now, and still nobody can catch it. They're like, I saw one, and you're like, you couldn't pull out your phone, and they're like, no, my battery was dead. You know, it's like, come on. So, is that the end of your?
That is.
Well, that was enthralling. I loved it. Yep. I didn't know much about Bigfoot, but now I do.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll take a trip up to Oregon soon and try to catch me one.
You should.
I'm gonna catch a 6-footer. I'm not gonna go for the full 9-foot.
Yeah, you're humble.
Sit down.
You don't need a prize trophy.
I agree. You know, I'm a man within my means. You know?
I guarantee you. What was his name? Like, Tom.
Tom Bigfoot. Who?
Bigfoot Tom.
Is that the hunter for Bigfoot?
No,
Tom DeLonge.
No, not Tom DeLonge. Tom Biscardi.
Oh, Tom Biscardi. Yes.
I bet he would take a 4-foot Bigfoot at this time.
I mean, I guess the moral of the story is you could be the CEO of whatever the fuck you want, guys.
Yeah, we're the CEOs of Camp Strange. Look at us. We're
Honestly,
fucking morons.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. CEOs right here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it when you do. We love telling these stories, and we love it when you listen. So thank you so much. For any pictures, we're gonna have some great pictures. We got we got Bigfoot. We got hopefully we'll try to stay away from most of the fecal matter, but it might.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do for photos on that one.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Maybe some Genghis Khan sexy pics.
You might just have to post the poop emoji.
So go to Instagram for that. We have all the hyperlinks on there and whatnot. But follow us on Instagram because that's our most active. We post in pictures all the time. We also have Facebook and Twitter, which we need to use more.
Yeah, I need to start posting more weird pictures. I'm gonna start doing more like what I do with that Iron Man picture.
Yeah, that was good. I love when you Photoshop stuff.
I do that.
It's amazing. So go check that out, you guys. We got merch. So if you want some shirts or some mugs, we also got them, and they're very soft and very drinkable. So go check those out. We also got what's the other thing? Oh, rate, review, and subscribe if you haven't yet, because we really do appreciate that. We need to bump those numbers up because Halloween's not right around the corner, but I feel like Halloween is when we're gonna.
Halloween is always around the corner.
It's always around the corner, so that's when people get mostly interested in that spooky stuff. So we're trying to get those numbers up so we get seen by some people, and they listen to some of these fun stories.
Yeah,
even if they're involved with shit and they're not spooky at all, they're just shit.
Yeah.
So, but
it's just shit.
Just shit.
Welcome to Camp Strange.
Alex
it's
Tobin,
just shit.
CEO of shit.
Yep.
So, yeah. Do we also have some other stuff?
Oh, I think we have some diapers.
Oh, we have some diapers.
Not used this time. This time they're not used. I know we had a lot of angry customers when we sent out used diapers, so we had to get the non-used.
Well, I have some diapers full of Indian food.
Oh.
Tiki marsala.
Yeah.
In a diaper.
Oh, is that your contribution? Jesus.
Yes. What else do we got, though?
We don't have wine glasses. We should actually have wine glasses.
No, we also have sour Skittles.
Sour Skittles? Mm-hmm. The ones that make your mouth bleed after you eat half a bag?
Mm-hmm.
We got sawdust.
We got Nerds Rope.
We got chaw.
What's chaw? Is that dip?
Yeah, it was like the cowboy stuff, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. We got a snake in my boot.
Stop. That's enough.
We're done. What? Oh, you don't like
I'm pretty sure you've done snake in my boot.
I have not done fucking snake in my boot.
Don't make me go listen to all
I have
40
not done
episodes.
snake in my boot. Somebody poisoned the water hole.
We've got Nair for your eyebrows.
Oh, wow. That's that shit burns, actually.
It's made by the baby shampoo, so when it gets in your eyes, it doesn't burn.
Yeah, we do have that.
Shampoo.
We have shoes full of Nair, so when you put them on, you're going to be in trouble.
Your feet are going to come out looking like tortoise shells.
Okay, the one there, that's good. That's good, right? I don't know.
Yep.
This podcast was literally about shit. Do you guys have expectations? Not anymore. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate it. And, Dave, do you have anything to say?
No.
I love you.
Skin your potatoes.
Skin your potatoes. Take the eyes out.
Yep.
Like the mountain. Anyway, Love you guys. And don't forget to stay strange.